Good evening and welcome to the Monday, July 10th Administrative Public Works meeting. We do have a quorum. Is there an approval for the June 26 minutes?
Move approval.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Are there any corrections or edits? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, I was asked by our staff, just as we move through the agenda, to make up a little bit more time, if you can be very clear with the seconds,
Okay.
and then just make sure that Janella records it 4 minutes. All right? Alderman Fleming, would you like to take item A1 and A2, please?
Payroll June 12, 2017 through June 25th, 2017, in the amount of $3,013,726.81. Bills list for July 11, 2017, in the amount of $4,296,958.87. This is for action.
It's been moved and seconded by Alderman Rainey. Are there any questions regarding the bills list questions? Seeing no lights, all those in favor of passing item A1 and A2, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. We have just one speaker who wanted to speak to non-agenda items. Maybe we'll take that now. All right. Thank you.
First item I'm going to talk about came up at the last two meetings. I basically spoke on it the last meeting. I was given more information from the city. I filed a second FOIA. This is in regards to the service building garage. First, I also talked to someone else connected with the city and found more information out. In 2008 and 2009, one of the beams at the service building fell off the supports and had to be reshored up and taken care of. I do not have any information on its cost or their engineering reports or anything. I can file more information to get that. But then in about 2012, 13, 14, the city hired Carl Walker and Associates to come in here and do a full report. Almost $600,000 was spent on repairs to that building with the same problems we have now. What Carl Walker, and that report is on the city on the city FOIA. FOIA that, it's a FOIA item. You can see it for yourselves. It's a 30-page report. What we have basically is the same problems reoccurring. Carl Walker recommended the city take care of that and basically monitor it and know what was going on. All the same problems have reoccurred. The beams have lost their support, same as happened before. And basically, we're probably into this already for $800,000 plus. Carl Walker also outlined what had to be done to be fixed. City has not done that. That will cost a lot of money. I need more information. It appears you've got major problems with this building. And you know, what's troubling to me is, you know, you were basically asked a question and you didn't get an answer. I, as a citizen, had to go and look into all this to tell you what's going on. Where is the city staff on these issues of giving you complete information? And really, this should have been outlined and more information given to you, because I think that building, you know, is in quite critical condition that might really cost the city quite a bit of money to really fix it so it stops having problems every 4 or 5 years where you're spending $600,000 again, because you're going to probably have to spend that, it looks like. And I also have a little more to say. There was a statement made about handicap. You had to provide handicap parking in your buildings. That's not any, you can't say, I don't provide it. And that's sort of what was implied here, because the parking spaces were taken away. We don't need to pay an equity coordinator to tell you that. By the way, we did have someone here some years back that was responsible for all the handicap issues. He was let go and gone, so we don't have anybody monitoring this. The next thing I want to talk about briefly is the water. The water bills and people that can't pay their water bills. Some years ago, I filed FOIAs because I was interested in how many people were basically not paying their bills, what was going on. They would not give me the final list of all the names. I looked through it briefly, but there were many, many people basically not, you know, on the delinquent list. And what was troubling to me.
I'm going to need you to wrap it up.
All right, one last thing.
Thank you.
And I think everyone up here should think about this. There was a woman who on Green Bay Road whose water was shut off by the city. She died of dehydration some years back. So this is not a joke in how the city operates and what the city does. So I want you to think about that in equity. You know, we don't need to hire somebody to figure out equity here. We need to figure out some things here. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Stonebeck, can you just respond to the issue of the handicap parking for that location, if there's anything else you want to touch base on?
The area where the handicap parking spaces are on the service deck are blocked off currently at this time. There are no employees using the handicap spaces at this time, and it's not a public parking area for people to go up onto.
There it is. So if we needed to, or if someone needed the accessibility, we would just put it right back in place.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the response. Anything else you want to, kind of laid out? All right. I think Mr. King is going to be responding to a referral a little bit later. We'll take that during the latter part of the meeting. All right, item 3.1, let's get going. Alderman Rainey, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
We're being asked to approve and recommend to the council that we authorize the city manager to execute contracts for the water meter replacement program, Phase 1, as well as the water meter and accessories with Water Resources in the amount of $1,153,500.15 and $61,705. Move approval.
Is there a
Second.
Second by Alderman Simmons. Are there any questions, comments? Seeing no lights, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Sufferton, item A3.2, please.
This is a change order in the amount of $58,932 for the treated water storage replacement engineering services of CDM Smith.
Second.
That was seconded by
Alderman Rainey.
Rainey. It's been moved and second. Seeing no lights, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Alderman Simmons, item 3.3, please.
Contract with Garland DBS Incorporated for roof repairs and window replacement at city facilities. Staff recommends city council authorize the city manager to execute a contract for roof repairs and window replacement at city facilities to Garland DBS Incorporated in the amount of $124,879. Funding will be provided from Capital Improvement Fund 2017 GO bonds as follows: $80,000 for the Ecology Center and $80,000 for the Ecology Center. Roofing, window, masonry repairs will be from said account with a budget of $80,000 and $44,879 for roofing repairs. Miscellaneous facilities will be from account as listed with a budget of $50,000. This is for action.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded by Alderman Rainey. Alderman Fleming?
Yeah, I just had a quick question. Why is there a waiver granted for this company not to meet our MWEBE goal?
Give me 1 second. Got that one? Who's got that one? Laura?
Hello, I'm Laura Biggs, Bureau Chief of Capital Planning in the Public Works Agency. So the reason why this company has a waiver is because roofing, basically it's just one company coming in and they're not really subcontracting anything. Garland itself is not a minority women business program, and while they seek they seek quotes for labor for the installation from a variety of local companies. The low bid was not a minority women or Evanston business.
Okay. Any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Item 3.4 is a contract with Nature's Perspective Landscaping for Evanston Plaza corner plantings and landscape maintenance. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Alderman Fleming, Alderman Rainey.
I guess my question here is, and I could be wrong with that, I think that's overlaps with one of our business districts, and so I was wondering how come they are not paying for the planting, or Valley Produce not paying for the planting.
Anybody want to? you want to?
I'm sorry, Marty Lyons, Assistant City Manager. Could you repeat the question?
So and I could be wrong, I thought that plaza falls within one of our business districts or business associations, maybe is the correct term. So I guess I was curious why they are not paying for the planting or why Valley Produce is not covering the planting.
And we are on, just let me get to the agenda item.
Page,
132 on the packet.
It'll take me forever to get there, so I'll go to the front.
wait, 132 in the,
I'm sorry, it just took me a second. So the Corner Plantings is a long-term program that was originally funded via the Neighborhood Improvement Fund through the previous development before Valley Produce came in. And these plantings were all set up in the neighborhoods around in cul-de-sacs and on the and on center islands. And I think here we're talking about the corners and cul-de-sac, not the centers. And long-term, those were to be set up, paid for out of the Neighborhood Improvement Fund, and then to be maintained by the residents. They fell into disrepair. The city in about 2012 came back with a program where we did I thought it was a great community effort where Nature's Perspective stepped up and said, well, we'll do some of the maintenance. Can we advertise while we do it? And we said yes. And they came back to us a little over a year ago and said we can no longer do that anymore. It's not a good business plan for us. So we put out, since our choice was to let the plantings, et cetera, all die off and have I would say a diminishment of the neighborhoods and just have it grass. Our choice was to then step in and do the maintenance. So it's not necessarily a part of any business district. It is seen as an additional maintenance that if this were in a TIF, we would be paying for it out of a TIF, but it crosses TIF lines, crosses a variety of lines. So I don't have a great answer as to why, other than it's been a community value to keep these plantings up. And it's not something that was ever deemed to be a part of any given business district. So grants to do that you see in some of the business districts for planters, et cetera. It's really a hybrid project that is a holdover from the original development that predates the Valley Produce development, and it was funded out of that. And I'll stop there and take any questions, but it doesn't fit into any grant program, and that's why we're paying for it directly out of city funds.
Alderman Rainey?
Yeah, I don't have any questions. I understand exactly what this is. And it's not in business district, it's just in neighborhoods. And
Correct.
I have a guy in my ward on the Custer overpass that passes over the yellow line, just at Brummel. This guy has like 8 or 10 pots on that overpass. He fills them with flowers every summer. He maintains them, he waters them, other people come along and water them. It's really quite nice. The other day during 4th of July, somebody came along and ripped them all out. You know what? The neighbors all got together, they all showed up and filled them all back up again. You know, we're paying people, and I think maybe Nature's Perspective is one of the groups we're paying to do corners with business district money or TIF money on Howard Street, and the corners that we're paying for look horrible. And here we're doing this in the neighborhoods? I don't understand it. I've got some neighborhood corners that could use some work too. I don't really understand this. Is this going to be forever? Is this going to be a one-time thing? This is very strange. Talk about equity. This is not equitable.
So not really strange, Alderman, just to give you some perspective on that.
No,
And
perspective, I
yeah.
know, Nature's Perspective.
Right.
But wait, this has been going on for a long time.
Right.
And I didn't know about this.
Right.
I know about that Neighborhood Improvement Fund.
Right.
But nobody else has that. And it's just kind of interesting that where we are using landscapers to plant, and I know that I have been a thorn in our greenways side because the effort on Howard Street has been terrible, and we are paying good money. And also the corners at Oak, I don't mind if it's on a main street. We should keep our main streets looking good, and I know we pay on our main streets. But these are in the neighborhoods where neighbors should take care. I have another family who's taking care of traffic circles.
And so-
Nobody's paying them. I say, really?
No, I see your point and understand your frustration. I think
$27,000?
part of what needs to be addressed is the fact that these dollars are actually going towards cul-de-sacs, which I would argue are a part of the city's infrastructure. And there's some areas where these traffic circles have been installed, particularly around schools, to slow the traffic. And so I can't speak to the future spend, but I know that we've had a hodgepodge of different variety of stuff, like just the same thing I'm sure down in the 8th Ward. It all depends on who's taking care of it. And I'm sure you see the exact same thing where someone moves away and then the cul-de-sac or the corner is just abandoned. So I think a lot of
We
these.
don't have any cul-de-sacs. We only have one cul-de-sac.
Well, so we have many cul-de-sacs that were installed by the late Dennis Drummer as a way of slowing down traffic, particularly on the routes to school. So that's just a little bit of background for perspective. I don't know if it answers your question, but to the other point that you raised, and we do see the issues with the planters in our area. In my understanding, the way, at least for the applications that I'm paying attention to, Nature's Perspective will install and rotate out the plants, but it's the responsibility of the business owner to water the plants. They'll do it, but they're going to do it for an extra fee. So I'm sure you pay attention to those details. I can't speak to exactly what planters and what's the contract, but you may want to check with your business owners to see if they're supposed to be responsible for the watering of
These
those.
aren't pots. I'm not talking about pots. I'm talking about in-ground.
Can't speak to that, but I'm just
Well,
referring, I thought I
can
heard you
speak
say
to
the
it.
pots in your
speak
area.
to it. I
Okay.
did speak to it. We're paying people, we're paying services to maintain them with
Yeah.
the economic development money. They vote on using it.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, I just wanted to make a clarifying statement. Nature's Perspective is not the firm that is maintaining Howard Street. City Forces are.
Thank you. Thank you.
All of Howard Street?
Yes, so what was contracted out, as Alderman Rainey mentioned, she felt that was a substandard service. Mr. D'Agostino agreed, and so last year that was canceled, and so City Forces are. So,
Maybe I should meet with City Forces and we'll take a walk.
but just to correct
Thank
the
you.
record.
Thank you for the point of information.
So we're not even using any extra money down there. So that, all right.
Well,
Well, there's a cost to that, but
Well, there is a cost, but it's not 29,000.
Yeah.
All right, I mean, let it go, but is it going to be 29,000 a year?
Alderman Rainey, members of the committee, my recollection, and Alderman Braithwaite, please correct me if I'm wrong, this was something Alderman Braithwaite raised during the last year's budget discussions, and I think Mr. Lyons covered this issue pretty well this evening. I think the council was asked by Alderman Braithwaite last budget round to step in because of what you heard this evening, that it wasn't being maintained. So the council allocated this money in the 2017 budget to do what's before you this evening. I think it's up to the council annually if they wish to continue this, but I think Alderman Braithwaite explained this was sort of an exceptional circumstance where private money from the free partnership, which previously had the center, provided the initial planting, and then the community was not able to keep it up. So it's a policy question for the council moving forward.
I apologize, I probably thought it was in business districts and on main streets. I didn't understand it was otherwise. So if I supported it then, I will continue to support it.
thank you. Seeing no further lights, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Alderman Fleming, item 3.5, please.
Sidewalk Cafe for Sam's Chicken and Ribs. The staff is recommending city council approval for this application for a sidewalk cafe at Sam's Chicken and Ribs, which is a type 1 restaurant located at 1639 Orrington. The cafe will have a variety of four tables and with 2 seats, and be open from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and this is for action.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Rainey. Seeing no lights, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Alderman Rainey, item 3.6, please.
We're being asked to recommend to the council that we authorize the city manager to execute the single-source software and service proposal from the current vendor, Word Systems, Inc., in the amount of $23,689 to upgrade the existing NICE digital voice logger. This is from the 911 fund.
Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Simmons. Seeing no lights, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman Sufferton, item 3.7, please.
This is a contract with BMO Harris for purchasing cards for city employees, and this will be a net benefit to the city.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Simmons?
Yes.
All those seeing no lights, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Alderman Simmons, item 3.8, please.
Other post-employment benefits report. Staff recommends City Council accept and place the December 31st, 2016 other post-employment benefits report on file as a part of the annual financial report. The city is required to provide an evaluation of the total liability of all OPEB. The attached form for MWM Consulting Group provides a detailed analysis of the city's total liability, which is approximately $14.7 million as of December 31st, 2016, and it is for action to accept this and place it on file.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded by Alderman Fleming. Seeing no lights, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carried. Item 8.4 is Resolution 58-R-17. It authorizes the city manager to execute a real estate contract for the purchase of a vacant lot located at 2005 Gray Avenue. This purchase is a vacant lot that's going to be used for one of the ETHS geometry and construction classes.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Alderman Fleming, item A5, please.
Ordinance 58-0-17, amending City Code 7-2-5-3 permit fees to include block party regulations. This is for introduction. Staff recommends City Council adoption of Ordinance 58-0-17, by which City Council would amend City Code 7253 permit fees to include block party regulation.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Alderman Rainey.
I am remiss in not having read the city manager's weekly report this week. Do we get copies of all the applications
So glad you brought that up.
for block parties?
No, we don't. I'm glad you brought that up. I've wanted to mention that. So as part of the application process, you'd like to see a box that either notifies us
Well,
or...
no, I don't want, I just think that we should get, I think we
Yeah.
should get notified if there's a block party in our ward.
And I don't know if someone on the dais said or was in the audience the Friday packet. We can certainly do a schedule of them every week if that's sufficient.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
Another thing, sometimes I get invited to a block party. And
Sometimes we don't.
Sometimes I don't. And I don't know, and I have been asked sometimes, why didn't you come to our block party? Like,
Sally forgot to
and
send
then
the
I
email.
think, I don't go where I'm not invited. And I'm wondering, on the application, does it say, do you want your alderman to know about your block party?
I'm pretty certain it does not today. Kidding aside.
You think, I mean, I'm wondering if the aldermen think that's a good idea or not.
Yes, yes.
So on the application, you'd like us to ask if the alderman is invited.
Well,
I think, can we just give a report?
To be informed.
yeah.
Can you just give us the list of who's having them? I don't care about being invited.
Well, I don't care about being invited either, but, I mean,
My sense, Alderman Rainey, members of the committee, is every block is different, and their understanding and appreciation of the municipal government is different. They just want to make sure the barricades are there and the fire truck comes. And beyond that, that's the main points, at least in my 8 years, of what people want from a block party. But we're happy to prepare a weekly list to make that available. And have a contact, maybe we can also add to the list whoever the contact is on the application. So
idea.
if you wish to reach out to them and find out if there's a better time than not, if you'd like to come, I think if Alderman Rainey, if that makes sense for you.
I think so.
Yeah. Yep. Alderman Simmons?
Can we consider just being notified by ward if there, so there's not one more report that we're managing? And so if it's in our ward, if just like when I get the notice that there's going to be a film crew, and then that way it's not one more report that we're managing?
Alderman Braithwaite, members of the committee, whatever your pleasure.
Perfect. I would
So-
say notification by email. I mean, it's only 3 months out of the year, to be honest, and if we can get that added to.
Certainly.
I think it covers both bases.
Very good. So we'll send an individual email to the alderman, party by party.
Perfect.
Very good.
Thank you very much. Seeing no other lights, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Item A6, Alderman Rainey, please.
A6, this is ordinance 59017. It decreases the number of Class H liquor licenses for Evanston Pan LLC, doing business as PETA 1. They are, let's see, are they closing?
Closing.
They are closing and therefore not renewing their liquor license. Staff is requesting that we suspend the rules and do an introduction and action at this meeting. I move introduction and action with the suspension of the rules.
Second.
It's been seconded by Alderman Fleming. Seeing no lights, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Alderman Suffredin, item A7, please.
This would also decrease the number of Class D liquor licenses for the Noodle Shop, doing business as Noodle and Company. They are not renewing their license.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Fleming. Seeing no lights, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Alderman Simmons, item A8, please.
Ordinance 61017, increasing the number of Class D liquor licenses for Furious Spoon Evanston on Maple Avenue. This is for introduction.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Rainey. Seeing no lights, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item A9 is an ordinance 62.017, increasing the number of Class K liquor licenses for Beer on Central LLC, doing business as Beer on Central. It's for an introduction.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Seeing no lights, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Alderman Fleming, item A10, please.
Decreasing the number of Class P4 liquor licenses for North Shore Cider Company, LLC, doing business as North Shore Cider. This is for action and introduction, suspending the rules.
Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Simmons. Alderman Rainey, do you want to speak to this?
Do I want to speak to it? No.
Nope. All right, it's been probably moved and seconded. Seeing no further lights, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Alderman
A-
A11.
A11. Ordinance 64017, increasing the number of Class P3 liquor licenses for North Shore Cider Company, LLC, doing business as North Shore Cider. Liquor Commissioner recommends that we adopt this, which increases the number of authorized P3 licenses for North Shore Cider, located at 707 Howard Street. We're requesting that the rules be suspended and introduce and take action on this at our council meeting this evening.
Second.
So move.
I think that one goes to
The
Alderman
owner is
Rainey.
present tonight if anybody needs to hear from him.
All right. Did you get the second on that? Seeing,
She said,
thank you. Seeing no lights, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Any items for discussion?
just Can I just say that?
Alderman Rainey?
Yes. What this license does is it allows Chris to serve cider in the store by the drink, as opposed to just serving the growlers or selling the growlers retail.
They're manufacturing it on site, right?
It's manufactured on site.
So no difference. It's similar to any other brewery, correct?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Only it's not a brewery. It's made like wine, fermented.
How many different brands of cider are they going to have?
Could he tell you? He's right here.
I'm kind of excited about it. Yeah, come on up. Tell us about it.
I'm actually developing a taste for it.
Thank you, Alderman Rainey. I appreciate that. Yeah, we have 4 ciders on tap now. We'll have 6 by the weekend. So we're working towards more ciders, having more ciders on tap.
Ciders only, or are you going to have beer and cider?
We can only do cider. Cider is a wine, so
Got it.
it's a winery-specific license.
What about your food menu?
Our food menu's kind of limited, kind of like Sketchbook and Temperance is the same sort of license.
Got it.
Yep.
Any other questions? Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Looking forward to your ribbon cutting. Any items for communication? Seeing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay. The Planning and Development meeting will start at 7:15. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.